back to the channel. This is Van City Audi. My name is Adam, and I'm pulling up to do my first run of the night. I am extremely late to the lanes. They've already started the night. Everything on the car is exactly the same as it used to be, except this time I have 26-inch tall drag slicks. So we're going to see how much more boost I can build on launch before I let off the brake. Previously, with my shorter tire, I was not able to utilize full boost. My tires would spin a little. So here's to hoping I can build more boost and rip off a decent first attempt on these drag slicks. I should mention I'm treating tonight like a test and tune. I have never raced on drag slicks before. It is going to be a very, very different experience. I'm gonna learn how it feels on launch. I'm gonna learn how sketchy it feels at the top end. This is gonna be fun and a massive learning curve for me. It is way more unstable at higher speeds. You can feel a bit of shimmy and a shake. Burnout felt really strong, but I could tell there was slippage on launch, so I for sure am gonna have to lower my tire pressure. And I think I'm gonna have to dial in throughout the course of the night until I find that perfect number, just like I did with the 16-inch setup that I was using all season long previous to these 15-inch tall drag slicks. So that launch felt pretty good. I managed a 0 to 60 in 2.14 seconds. So 2.1s is what I was running with the old setup, but I have now lowered the tire pressure to see if I can improve on that 60 foot, which is a 143. Yes, it feels a little unstable at high speeds, but I'm hoping that I can get out of the hole so effectively that I carry that speed throughout the quarter mile and I'm able to run a better ET this time around. Frustrating part of drag racing. I know they can't help it, but you end up waiting in the staging lanes, you think you get to go, you end up heat soaking the shit out of your motor, you pull up to the line to do a burnout, and they make you turn off your car. For those of you that are familiar with drag racing with an RS3, it isn't just start up your car and go. I have to hit switches, I have to turn dials, I have to hit buttons, and if I want to log the run, I also have to make sure my laptop's going. So I got shut down right at the water box, and I had to start it up after my oil temp had already surpassed 100 degrees. That run sucked. It shows on Draggy of a 9.5. I usually don't bitch, moan, and complain on this channel, but that pisses me off so bad when they tell me to stop and then I have to get everything going again and they get mad at me for not going quick enough. I have no choice in the matter but to hit all those buttons and make everything perfect before I race or shit doesn't go right. Alright, so my frustration has lowered. I'm back out here third time. This time, I'm gonna try my old launch method. I'm not gonna build as much boost and see if I can fire out of the hole more effectively than holding down launch control for a really long time like I've done the first two runs. Looks like I might be racing against one badass mofo of a race car. Look at that thing. This should be an interesting race. Nova beside me, I wanted to race him. I fell for the damn trick of always wanting to race the guy beside me. I was on launch control way longer than I had intended to, and it looks like Draggy's showing me another 9.4. Launch, or 60 foot is subpar again. Draggy shows a 1.47, so that was probably, I want to say, a 1.43 again. Yeah, those 60 foots just aren't cutting it. A 1.43 60 foot, quarter mile of a 9.44 at 146 miles an hour. Trap speed's a little improved, but that 60 foot is not where it needs to be if I'm going to be running anything quicker than a 9.3 like I've done in the past. I think I'm gonna try a little less boost on launch if I can manage. I always get so excited. I wanna race the person beside me when I see this crazy built out muscle car. Doesn't always work out, but that time it did, and was a pretty neat race to always take off and launch out of the hole and be somewhat on par with one another and then pass them up top. You guys can see me, it's pretty dark. Sun keeps going down earlier and earlier these days. This time out, I don't care who I am racing beside, I am not going to launch with as much boost. I am going to launch more similarly to what I used to do on my 16-inch drag radial setup. I've also tweaked the tire pressure again because we are not where we want to be yet. As I made you guys aware, this is a test and tune. So I'm gonna let this guy fire off, and I'm gonna dial in my launch when I want to launch to hopefully have a better 60 foot and a better overall ET. Most certainly pays off to do stuff like that. Pay attention to what I have going on rather than the lights. Draggy shows a 9.39. Thank goodness I'm finally back in the 9.3s at 146 miles an hour. Let's see what the slip says. Hopefully you guys can still see me. 9.3 at 147 was making more power. The DA's dropped to around 500, 600 right now, so I'm definitely making more jam up top. Gonna keep going, keep tweaking, keep on changing things as we go in hopes that I can finally start going quicker with this setup. Well guys, this will be the last run of the night for me. The DA is now about 400, but the track is cold. They haven't relayed prep. I'm gonna go with my method again. We've tweaked the tire pressures again, going out there and see if we can better that 939. So I'm up against my buddy Anthony again in his Porsche 911 Turbo S that I raced, but both of us agreed we're out here to test and tune tonight, so we won't be racing one another. We're just trying to get the best time we possibly can. We waited at least half an hour to get on the track. Someone spilled a bunch of oil, so it's not surprising that my tires got quite cold in the rear. It isn't very hot right now. The temperature says 19 degrees Celsius, but it sure as shit doesn't feel like it outside. Feels like maybe 16, 15. So I don't think that's as good a run. I probably ran a 9.4, 9.5 if I had to guess, which kind of sucks to end the night, but such is life. Well, I was right. That definitely didn't feel fast. I ran a 9.4 at 146. My 60 foot was a 1.45. So my worst 60 foot of the night. And I don't know, my worst run? No, somewhere in the middle, but definitely a crap way to end off the night. That that's it for tonight here at Mission Raceway. It was a very interesting test and tune session for me. Like I said at the beginning, I have never used drag slicks, so it's definitely a learning process to figure out the right amount of boost on launch, to figure out the exact right amount of pressure that these tires like. The other thing that we noticed is the fronts are now cooked and wonderfully heat cycled. The rears still look like they're brand new. We can't do a burnout with the rear tires, so the wear on those things is insignificant compared to the fronts. So next time out, we're gonna flip them around, put the ones that we have on the rear tonight on the front, do some burnouts with those, and hopefully once all 4 tires have been heat cycled a few times, I'll be able to get some better times. Definitely did not go as quick as I hoped to tonight, only 1:09.3. I've managed a bunch of 9.3s with my previous setup, but I still have my fingers crossed that this is going to net me a 9.2 by the end of the year. If it doesn't though, we can say that we gave it our damnedest. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time where I'm either back at Mission Raceway or we manage to do another mod before the end of the drag racing season, take care.